Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, to create massive awakened impact for millions of souls around the planet, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. Hello, everybody. We're so grateful to be here with you at another amazing broadcast here. And just remember, hey, you want to keep having fun with me, go ahead and subscribe. We would love to have you keep coming back and enjoying these incredible episodes. We get a lot of great feedback, whether you guys are gaining each and every time. I appreciate you, the regular listeners. Okay, Mabel, grateful to have you here. I mean, my goodness, when they had the opportunity to interview and I saw what you're up to, I was just really so impressed by the work you've been doing in the world. So glad to.
Thank you. I really enjoy what I do. It's really my passion.
That's the key, isn't it? One of the big keys of life. Absolutely. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let me tell the audience about you. So Mabel Katz is an international leader of major stature, truly, who has developed a committed and global following for her ability to radically change lives in just a few days, based on her profound zero-frequency teachings, rooted in the ancient Hawaiian art of problem solving called Ho'oponopono. Zero frequency enables people to be at peace, not matter what's going on around them, relieving all the day-to-day worries, anxieties, projections, fears, self-esteem issues, and clearly able to hear and live by the guidance and wisdom offered by the universe. In discovering Ho'oponopono, studying for 12 years intensively with the master, Alika Kala, Hugh Len, PhD, that Mabel transformed her own life. Now, she had been a successful accountant. She's been speaking around the world, over 40 countries. She's had all these different books you've written, and so many. And then you've also been serving the Latino community. There's so many things, many things, the government, the United Nations work. Oh my God, it just goes on and on. So I'm just so grateful to have you. And I just want people to, I think some people with a Ho'oponopono, people have heard of it. People have studied it a little bit, right? And I just want people to realize, because I know what the mind does sometimes. Oh, I know about that. Okay, I don't need to listen. Like, trust me, what she's going to talk about is going to go far beyond what you probably have heard. I don't know, but probably is going, and every time you listen, you gain something new. She has far more to share than just the 4 phrases we use in that, right? So there's going to be a lot more, a ton more than that. It's a lot deeper than that. So, Mabel, let's get started I'd love to hear you share a little bit. You have such an extensive background, but I'd love to share maybe a little bit more how you got into this whole zero frequency thing. Tell us about that journey.
Sure. Okay. Well, I was a tax accountant, a tax specialist in the U.S. I live in Los Angeles for the last 37 years. Right now, I'm in Guadalajara, Mexico, and I was a very close-minded person. I was actually perfect. I knew it all, yes. And people had to do what I said because I was always right. But I was not happy. I actually had everything that somebody thinks it needs to be happy, and I was not happy. So one day, my oldest son talked to me angry, the way I used to talk to him, and he woke me up. Thank God I decided, because as we know, our life depends on our choices and decisions. And I made the decisions to start looking for happiness because I realized I was looking for it in the wrong places. So I started connecting with metaphysical teachers. I mean, things started coming to me. It wasn't like I just had to make that decision. Then the universe took care of bringing me opportunities, things that maybe they were around me, but I didn't, pay attention. So suddenly I went to an anger training, and the teacher was a metaphysical teacher. Then I went to yoga classes, and they made us do visualizations at the end. I never even heard of the word visualization. And I would manifest it the same day. So the universe was realizing that I started waking up and being ready. So it was showing me, that we all have the power to change our life inside of ourselves, that we don't depend on anybody or anything outside. And one thing took me to the next. I did a lot of rebirthing. That is a conscious breathing technique that helped me a lot. And that's what brought me to Ho'oponopono, because for two things. First of all, the founder of rebirthing, Sandra Ray, knew about Ho'oponopono, and she used to talk to us. But at that time, it didn't make the click, yes? But then I met somebody that organized the trainings for my teacher, that what it ended up being my teacher for more than 10 years. And that's how I got to it. Now, during my rebirthing things, even though that I was advancing and I was seeing a lot of results, I noticed there was a lot of drama. Still was going to see who I could blame, for my problems. And I thought there has to be an easier and faster way. And it wasn't, like you said, it's not the Ho'oponopono, you take one seminar and you say, oh, I know, oh, I read in the internet, or I read one book and now I know. Ho'oponopono is something that you have to keep working, because it's working on yourself, yes? Mm-hmm. So it's moment by moment. And every time that you listen or you hear this information, you get something a little bit more clear, or you identify, or now you understood it in a different way. So that's why I have always a lot of reviewers in my seminars. They come back, and I always say the people that come back is the one that got it. Right. Because again, it's working with the subconscious mind. So you go deeper little by little. So anyway, I never bought into the drama or the blaming, and I thought there has to be an easier way. And again, maybe in my fourth or fifth seminar, it really got down to me. And I said, wait a minute, if I'm 100% responsible, that means I created it, I can change it. Yes, and I felt free and powerful for the first time in my life. And I realized that I had found what I was looking for.
Wow.
So basically, that's kind of a long story short.
Yeah. That was kind of that was big. That's realizing, wow. That is one of the things that I know I've had plenty of slippage of, even after I realized it. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm 100% responsible for my life and what's happening. And even when I could say, well, they didn't show up when they were supposed to. It's, oh, I created that. Oh, I see. Like, you start getting it, like, oh, but they did something bad to me or what? Oh, I created that. Oh, I didn't realize. I'm sorry.
But John, let's clear this, because people think that the responsibility means, oh, I'm guilty. No. That has nothing to do with guilt. No guilt trips here. This is about what is it in me that is creating this. I'm not a bad person. I'm not a sinner. Nothing. There is nothing wrong with me. But when you take responsibility, now you can change it, because, especially if it's something that repeats in your life. Mm-hmm. And you keep blaming, people. So it is about, okay, let's work on myself. Yes, this is an inner job. Inside job. It has nothing to do, even when we talk about forgiveness, it's not about going and talking to somebody. It's about working on our reaction. Stop living in the past, come back to present, living in the present moment, and making different conscious decisions, different decisions.
Yeah, exactly. So the ability to be empowered by the fact that there's a responsibility for my consciousness that's creating my life, right? So the deeper consciousness, and having total forgiveness or total love for ourselves, regardless of what's unfolding, just realize, okay, it's just happening and I can do something about it. Like you said, that's the great empower. It's like, oh, great. I can actually, because if I'm not responsible at some level, then I can't do anything about it. I'm just a victim to life. Right? So,
you are powerless. You are giving your power away to somebody else. Right. Because that's kind of what we do.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And what I'm trying to say here is that Ho'oponopono teaches me that I am responsible because there are a lot of memories replaying in my subconscious mind. That's what I'm responsible for. So that life is just the monitor. So because otherwise it wouldn't be in my consciousness. You understand what I mean? Now nothing can show up in my monitor unless it's been downloaded first. Yes.
Right.
So everything is just memories, and most of them from past lives. People need to wake up and realize we are not this body, that we come to make amends. Ho'oponopono word in Hawaiian means to correct an error. Like everything in our life are opportunities to correct errors. But again, not because we are sinners, but because we chose to come to make amends, to repair. We knew we were coming for this, and we were happy to come. And then we forgot.
Yeah, so we get caught up in all areas of our lives. The people listening are mostly people either that want to be in business or are in business. They want to do their purpose, and but if you're in a victim mentality, even at certain levels, you haven't taken more responsibility for what's unfolding in your life. You keep creating a disconnect. It's you're not going to be able to actualize more of your purpose. You're only going to go so far with it. So,
Well, this helped me to find my purpose and my mission
mhm.
because I started taking responsibility, because I started letting go and trusting and allowing the universe to guide me instead of my intellect. I was happy in my professional life. I was very successful accountant, both in Argentina when I was born and where I got my degrees, and here in United States. So I am telling you, I'm still a very intellectual person, and I actually, for me, a perfect world would be one that we are all in purpose and that we are all doing what we love. For me, that's zero frequency. How you live in zero frequency? You have to find out what you would do even if you don't get paid. I love to talk about business and money and everything, first of all, because I come from that background. So I became spiritual, and spirituality changed my life, but because I put them both together. It's not like, no, any extremes is good. If you are too intellectual, it doesn't work. If you are too spiritual, it doesn't work here. Because right now we are here, So, but when you combine them, I mean, the sky is the limit.
Yes, 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 yes. Many people struggle with. Uh, Many of the people that might be listening might struggle with like they getting caught in their minds. Also, like trying to achieve in their life. Maybe they even have achieved to a certain level, like you did with your successful account, right? But there was limits you're running into in your life, right? So it's like we have people that have been successful, and they're like, I can't do it that anyway, but they don't know how to create the next level of their life by like, oh, just let's like you
Yeah.
said, like let's just be spiritual, let's just you get connected, and they feel better and they're happier, but then they're like, yeah, but the results of my life aren't what I want.
Yeah, but I don't have money. That's why, you have to realize that there is nothing wrong with money, and God is in the money too, and in everything. So when you again combine, John, I learned this also because in Japan, once they asked me why when I did or I presented business seminars, I didn't put the word Ho'oponopono, or I didn't say it had a spiritual component. And I said, in US, nobody would hire me because in US, everybody confuses spirituality with religion. I said, they think it's synonymous, so I said, no way, or crazy, or, out there. So, but they told me in Japan, we wouldn't hire you unless we knew that that it has a spiritual component, because we know spirituality is the foundation of any successful business. So you understand how off we've been all our lives?
Right.
But some of us, yes, totally. I was totally off. I mean, I was not a believer. I was very close-minded, a perfectionist. I pay attention what other people thought, and I knew what it was right, you
Yeah.
know. And letting go and starting to and becoming a child again. I mean, that's that's what we need to do. Really, become happy people. We have to become children again. And then everything, you become like a magnet and everything comes to you.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a default level for people that want to achieve is we call it masculine a lot of times, right? So like, get on it, get your goal. We know what to do. We're just gonna make it happen. We'll work 100 hours a week if that's what it takes, or whatever. Like just bulldozer. And then people might have some results, but then they get burnt out. And it doesn't.
Or they are not happy because again, I had everything. My mother used to come to visit from Argentina, and she would say, "Look at the house you have, and you drive new cars, and you have a husband that loves you, and two beautiful and healthy children." And she would say, "What's your problem?" And John, I didn't know what my problem was, but I was always frustrated, unhappy, and things like that. And but when I started my search looking for happiness and peace in my personal life. I never planned to leave my career. But again, the letting go and trusting, the finding that middle path that Buddha used to talk about, yes, and things like that is what allows me, to live the life that I live.
So let's get into that now, this more specific. So how can people, tell us more about this zero frequency? How do we utilize, how do we get into the zero frequency? What is it? Tell us more about what it is and how do we get
Yeah.
into it so that we can experience, because I've heard all the people I talk to in this field, I ask them, do you at some level have a conflict between spirituality and money? Everybody says yes. So let's get into it. So
okay, well, I have a story of my own. I had, growing up, I'm the little one of three girls, yes, in Argentina. And one of my sisters was spiritual, and she used to tell me often, you are too materialistic. So I grew up, you look like you're not paying attention, and it's not important. But when you listen to it for many, many times, it gets there somewhere, yes? So I became spiritual, and guess what? And I never had money problems, but I became spiritual and I started having money problems. There was a short secret there, yes? So one day I told myself, I said, I became spiritual, but not stupid. So
that's funny.
So I'm gonna tell you what the difference is. Before I worked for the money, I needed material things to be happy. I kept, the never-ending story. You have a house and you want a bigger house or a newer house, or you are never satisfied. Yes. Mm-hmm. Now I don't work for the things. I don't need them, but I live in a great place and I drive a nice car and I have a great life. But I don't do it for the money. It's more. I don't need that much personally. All the money that I make, it goes to hire more people, to work more, to improve things, but never thought, let's accumulate, let's buy a bigger house. I don't need that anymore. You understand what I mean? So that's the difference. I thought that I needed those things before, but there is nothing wrong with material things. There is nothing wrong with having a good life. But if you know who you are and you don't put money first, money always comes when you do what you love. You never have to worry. If you don't do it for the money and you do it because it's your passion and you love it, I mean, you don't have to worry because you will always have what you need.
Yeah.
But it's the programming that we have, about money and things like this. Yeah. So anyway, zero frequency, is definitely based on Ho'oponopono. Ho'oponopono is about 100% responsibility. What is it in me that is creating this? Mm-hmm. And my teacher got the famous thank you and the I love you to really replace that. The thank you and the I love you are like passcodes, or shortcuts, for what Ho'oponopono really is. It's like the delete key in the monitor, in the computer, instead of talking to the monitor and trying to change the monitor. So zero frequency is something that I created that allows me, because I've been doing this around the seminars, zero frequency seminars around the world for over 10 years now. The book just came out this year, but the zero frequency is not something new for my people that have been attending seminars. Zero frequency allows me to bring the intellect, to the plate, because Ho'oponopono is talking to the subconscious mind. And it doesn't make a lot of sense, it is esoteric, yes? And even though that I put the intellect there, my Latin passion thing, in the trainings too, but zero frequency allows me to take people through a journey. Zero frequency for me is a journey. It's something that you start and it's for the rest of your life, yes? How you can recognize when you are not in balance, when you are not at zero, when you are reacting, because the problems are not the problem, it's our reaction to the problems that is the problem. So the idea is how you can recognize and live a more conscious life. And at the same time, when the intellect realizes that maybe there is something inside of me, that is attracting this and is willing to take responsibility, because that's the part of us that has the free choice. We depend on the intellect to choose to let go, and be less arrogant somehow. But I include also the thing about finding your passion, finding your purpose, realizing who you really are, and having an experience about 100% responsibility, because really that's basic if you really want to change your life, because only when you change, everything changes, not the other way around. I do have a world peace campaign that is peace begins with me, with each one of us, and peace within is world peace. There will not be peace till we don't find peace inside of us. We have to get that once and for all.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, what you talk about in the book, I haven't honestly read all the way through it, but I've been beginning to read it. And what I really loved is that zero frequency, the way I was hearing it, is really being in that dropped in center place, and that stillness, or stillness might be another word for it, right? Place where it's beyond concepts, where we're really just connected. And it's like right now, I mean, maybe more than ever, I would say more than ever, we're called to be in that frequency, because there's so much.
And no matter what is going on, and you don't depend on everything around you to be working and no problems, everybody nice, or your life all, in good order. No, you don't depend on anything. It's just something that you have. The more that you practice, the easier and more natural, because that's who we really are. We are the observer. Yeah, but we ended up identifying with all the parts that are not us, beliefs, opinion, judgments, our names, our titles, how much money you have in the bank. We are nothing of that.
Yeah. Let's say someone's listening right now, they've got resistance coming up. I've noticed this myself sometimes. If I'm a little bit off, I'm listening to somebody, I've got something really important to say to me. I'm like, I'm busy, I got to go now. It's like the part that wants to run, the runner inside of us, and it doesn't want to listen. So I think, that's so important, is to meet the place of discomfort that shows up by getting still enough to listen what's there, and then we can utilize tools that you probably share with people to really deepen into that space, right? So yes. Tell us about how can we stop ourselves in a sense, and utilize the tools to really do the work to embody the zero frequency.
Yeah, again, you have to be conscious in order to use them. Yes, it's not about knowing them. But I'm going to also give you some example. First of all, I'm going to say that the worst thing you can do when you have a problem is think or worry. We've been, again, programmed, and that doesn't work. So actually, when you have a problem, you have to relax. You have to breathe, yeah? Because the first thing we do is, yes? So sometimes I even tell people, just laugh, Your telephone bill came and you don't know how you're going to pay it. Just say, ha, 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 the telephone bill came, and maybe you end up laughing, but again, just move energy instead of getting stuck or, stop breathing in that moment. So just that will change completely your energy, but because we have to remember we are energy and we are vibration. So based on that vibration and that energy, so if you're in the victimhood, idea, or, or the fear or whatever, I mean, how your life could change, or how you can start attracting different things of what you are attracting now. Yes. So you have to raise your energy. So just breathing, just let it relaxing. Yes. And letting go. Sometimes accepting that everything is perfect, even if it doesn't look like, or knowing that there is a blessing in everything, behind that the universe is not conspiring against us.
Right.
No, it is actually helping us to grow, to be better, stronger, because that's what we come up from every challenge that we have in our life. If we don't take the victimhood, identity. Okay, so things like that, going for a walk in that moment, hugging a tree, connecting with nature. Yes. Now, I used, to be honest with you, when I have a lot of fear or something that I really don't know where to run, I definitely start mentally repeating, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, I let go and trust, not to engage with the stories. Yeah, it's like we can change stations. We do have two stations. Yeah, one is the intellect, the thoughts, and everything. The other one is inspiration. It's your connection to the whole universe working for you, if you allow it. Yeah, coming with the right solutions, the right decisions. But you have to turn off the other one because they cannot work together. Yeah. And you are choosing moment by moment. That's why we say that Ho'oponopono has to be done moment by moment, even when you don't have problems, because the memories are playing and you can avoid things. So if we come from the Ho'oponopono side, it's about repeating thank you, repeating I love you. A lot of people know Ho'oponopono for 4 phrases. I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, and I love you. If you already have it incorporated, if you like it, if it feels good, keep doing the 4 phrases. But that's what you have to be doing in order to change station and not to be alone. One of the things that gave me a lot of peace is, as I was practicing letting go and trusting, I started seeing results. I realized I was not doing it alone because I allowing it. I was allowing the help to come. Yes. So repeat thank you and I love you. Sometimes I tell people, for example, even to the fear, especially right now, thank you, but I'm busy. You have more important things to do than engaging with the fear and lowering your vibration to be more susceptible of getting a virus, or things like that. So I think it is very important that you find your own way. For example, in the book, I also tell this story. It's a real story. When I decided to let go completely of my career, that it was a very stable and profitable career, I actually was counting with some income that allowed me to have employees already. But I was going into a totally new field, new career, no degrees, that kind of confirmed my abilities. So that income suddenly went away. And sure, my intellect or very logically told me, oh, you will have to go back to preparing taxes, and it was very logical. The other thought that came is, well, you will have to fire the employees. You will not be able to have that many employees. Well, it was very logical too. But you know what? I think that at that moment I was able to switch, and another thought came, or another way of seeing or perceiving. And I said, God, do you know why I'm here? You know how much I need and when? I'm not gonna worry. And I became a child. Yes, I decided to become a child. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know what is right. I don't know where the money is gonna come. And all I said, it's not like I didn't feel the fear. This is what people confuses. It's not like I never had fear anymore, or I was no action, or I didn't think anymore. Sure, that is already happening if we are addicted to all of that. Yeah, natural in us. in automatic. So you have to be, again, like I said before, conscious enough to choose differently. Yeah. So in that moment, in the moments that I realized that the fear was kind of, taking over, or the thinking or something, I would look up and say, I'm not going to worry, like a little child.
Yeah.
And I never had to fire anybody. I was able to hire more people. And money came from places I couldn't have visualized, imagine, or dream. Okay, like people buying the copyright of my books via email. Okay, just email. We would like to buy the copyright of your book in Korean, in Chinese, in Japanese, in Italian, and I don't even know these people. Yes.
Right.
Or people sending me contracts, for speaking engagements, and sending me advances. So I knew that every time I had to pay, the money was there. That was my thinking. Yeah. When I will have to pay, the money will be there, and it was there.
Right.
Coming from places I couldn't have managed or manipulated or anything.
Right. I mean, that's definitely, because I've been in business for what, I don't know, well, over 14 years. It depends on how you're counting, but it's, yeah, I mean, when the fears come in around money, when things are going well, you're not usually so concerned, right? You're like, okay, let's just keep going, and all that sort of thing, and keep growing or whatever. But then when you run into challenges, it's like, oh my God, we might not make it. Oh my God, what could happen? And all those kinds of things. I could lose my house. I could lose everything. I could be on the streets. I could die. I'll be embarrassed. Everybody will know, and I'm a failure, and all those things. So, so that part that wants to come in and say all those things, the coping mechanism, I think, usually is that we try to take control. I don't feel in control, so I'll take control. I'll take actions. Maybe I'll get a job. Maybe I'll make this happen. I'm going to visualize it. I'll make it happen. And sometimes people kind of get by with that, or maybe they do create something, but often it doesn't work, or it collapses eventually. And so the place where the spiritual rock stardom comes in, like you're saying, is where we allow ourselves to be only completely, what's that word? Completely, almost like trapped, but in a good way. Like you can't move.
Like in a vicious circle. Somehow.
Yeah. Like you got to be totally realized. No more escape hatches and trying to make this happen and go this way and that way and all these different. No, just right here, full trust, letting go. That's the 0 point, right? The zero frequency.
Exactly.
And we allow ourselves just to be here. And we realize, I love what you said about being the children of God. If we have great parents, we just imagine we even have great parents, even if we feel we didn't. We imagine we have great parents, and our parents as source, we just like, well, we're going to be taken care of. Source is going to provide. We absolutely will be provided for every single time. But it's a matter of allowing ourselves to really realize it's that simple. I know, like when I've seen things become too simple at times, sometimes my mind will say, oh, that was way too easy. How could that be possible? And immediately it's starting to recreate the old stuff.
I know, but it can be. That's what we need to believe, that it could be. That's why my other books are called The Easiest Way. I have the easiest way, the easiest way to live. I have the easiest way to grow. I put the easiest way to grow is a book for children 3 to 100-year-old, because I said that we needed more than our children. And you know what happened is that I put all the messages, everything that I realized, that I said, oh my goodness, if I knew this when I was young, I mean, my life would have been so different. But it's never too late. It's never too late.
Yeah. So with all this being said so far, I mean, people that are, wanting to, you talk about this concept, for example, I did want to ask you about this. You talk about a concept of a movie theater, but nobody's out there. And I saw this in these things that were sent to me. I was like, what is this? This sounds interesting. I want to ask you about this. You talk about this in the book. Could you tell us more about that?
Yeah, so it's kind of what I mentioned before. Life is like the screen, or life is just like the monitor. So the problems are not in the monitor and are not in the screen. If you want to change, you have to go either to the projector or to your computer bank, yes, to the program. So again, you have only two choices. You can't keep talking to monitors. You could still think and blame, complain and go into the roller coaster of memories, and emotions. I mean, if that makes you happy, if you see results, I mean, you should keep going, yes. But if you really want to, you realize that could be an easier way or a different way, yes. Why not taking responsibility and pressing the delete key instead of talking to the monitor? The monitor can, when we try to convince somebody of something, we are talking to the monitor.
Yeah.
Because everybody in your life, everything that you experience is a memory in your subconscious mind. Otherwise, it couldn't be. It's the same like when I tell people, I says, if somebody comes and tells you a problem, the problem is yours. I mean, it's warning you, that there is something coming maybe, or there is something, a memory in common that you need to clean. We call it cleaning or erasing in Ho'oponopono. And whatever gets erased from you, it gets erased from everybody. So if you want to help somebody, do this, because what you are doing is you are allowing God to erase. You are allowing God to correct. Yeah, it's not us doing it. We are allowing it for that to happen, the transmutation. And then relationships changes, things start coming into your life, opportunities and things like that you never dreamed possible. But because you allow it, yes, you give permission.
Yes. Yes, so there's so many things I know you have to share with people. How is it people can really take this in? I mean, one thing is to really even give more attention to even what you said today, and then there's more. There's more you have.
Well, I always tell people they need to re-listen to every class I give or everything. You re-listen, because every time you do, you will find something new. You will realize something in a different way. You will,
Yes.
I mean, and that's what happened with the seminars too. It looks like it's the same information, but you get it in a completely different way.
But like there's that's why people reread books. I have one book I keep looking over it day after day after day for a long time now, and it's because every time you look at it, you're in another level. You're like, oh wow, I have another sense of realization.
No, you said sometimes you said that wasn't there before.
Right. So where can people learn more about zero frequency and
Sure.
deepen into it?
Well, if you are interested, if that anything of this resonated and you want to know a little bit more, I highly recommend my new book, Zero Frequency. You can find more information at zerofrequency.com. And there is a starter pack that is free and includes a preview of the book and some videos. If you go to zerofrequency.com/book, you can find more information about the book itself. The book actually comes with some complementary videos too, because I wanted, again, to take these people in the journey, and I comment on, because there are many different chapters where I give you ideas of how to get to that zero frequency, how to connect, yes? And so there are for every taste, every personality, everything, because we are not, cattle, yeah? God doesn't treat us as cattle. So something that resonates with you and say, oh, I can do this, or different things you can do in different challenges that you have, or different situations in your life. Now, I also have mabelkatz.com, and I have a section that is free resources, and there is a free Ho'oponopono basic video course also that can give you more information about the Ho'oponopono, that is basically the foundation of my zero frequency work. All my work is based on Ho'oponopono because it's my path, it's what I chose, yes, it's the only thing I practice. But definitely you might be, following another, practicing other techniques or other philosophies or whatever, and you can keep doing, whatever you are doing, because you confirm through this that what you are doing is what you should be doing. Yes.
Yeah, it's what you're truly drawn to. When you're truly drawn to, and what you're willing to let into your life as well. Because I do know sometimes we we avoid certain things that could liberate us. Because again, like I said before, it's like, oh, I'm busy. I don't have time for that. And like, yeah, that's exactly what you need to focus on. Then when that energy comes in, that you really know you have the time for it. It's just that you're not willing to put your present, because it actually might liberate you.
Yes.
You wouldn't have your
Yeah,
stories
well,
anymore.
sometimes we don't even want to invest in ourselves, yes, and that would go a long way, yes, because sometimes we don't do the things that could be really helping us, and we keep doing the things that don't work. Einstein said, yes, that's insanity. Keep doing the same things, expecting different results.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, that whole thing, don't worry, be happy sort of thing is coming in my
Yes,
brain right now. It's like,
yes,
literally, if you could just allow yourself to start trusting that more, and that's one of the big keys. Is just like, okay, don't worry, be happy. All right, now, you're. Then from that buoyant place, the intellect can work much better. Like we always say, right now.
I think it's important. People thinks that letting go and trusting is doing nothing. Yeah. Or, you don't do anything. Oh, how irresponsible, or things like that. But spirituality is work. Is willing to look to yourself. Is getting out of your comfort zone. I'm talking about trusting something that you cannot see or touch or anything, and that's completely out of your comfort zone. Feeling the fear and doing it anyway, that's out of your comfort zone. I mean, you have to be willing to do the work. It's not
Yes.
as easy. I call it the easiest way because if you practice it, you're not gonna find easier than this. But I'm not saying that it's easy, and you have to be willing to look at yourself and stop blaming and complaining, and things like that. So not everybody is willing to do that. Yes.
Yeah, yeah. Great point. Great point. Well, we're at the time of the show where I'd like to offer to my guests the opportunity for me to tune into. You ready?
Yes.
All right, great. So let me tune in. I'll just share whatever comes through. Uh,
Wonderful.
let's just. Whew, okay. All right, here we go. Okay, just some basic stuff to start with. Just getting the word wisdom keeper coming here. So they're showing me like you have access to like the Akashic records, all that stuff. So however that comes to you, but you get like access to the Akashic records and all these wisdom files that have been stored away, and through all this work that you've been doing, like increasingly you're able to access these wisdom files that were kind of frozen or locked away before, and it's all of a sudden like again and again you're like, wow, there's a whole nother slate of stuff I have to share here, and it's like you have all this stuff you can draw on, from the record of the divine even, but like your wisdom keeper, you're like that librarian at the book, the right thing at the right time. It just comes right to you to what to share to people in person and your teachings, everything. So, but yeah, you'll continue to have new tools, new things, new wisdom to share. Maybe zero frequency continues to be, kind of the center point, but I feel like you're going to have more. You're going to have more. There's more and more coming. So I feel like that's part of the expansion. Is there's going to be more, and it may not always be zero frequency. So I feel like that's something to embrace going into the future. And let's see what else is coming in. It just really, I feel there's this thing around claiming the power you do have intuitively to see people, see like through the third eye, and like the shamanic sort of energy that you're able to be in. You have a real shamanic abilities that are there. So to really kind of see right to where someone is and really easily. And I'm sure you already do that, but like yeah, deepening in that to help people in their transformations. And let's see what else might come through real quickly. Yeah, just keep seeing you giving things away. So I see you like being, continuing to be generous and even giving more, like those books. I just even see in the future like you'll be giving out more and more books. And just yeah, just so much charity, just a sense of great charity in your life. And I just see like things things getting even easier for you. Like I would say even simplifying even more. Because they show me like an easy, like a lazy boy type of chair, or whatever, like an easy chair, and then you just it's so you continue to teach, and as you get older, you continue to share with people. No, it's even easier than that. Like you, so it's even easier than the easiest way possible. So I feel like you're going to be sharing more about that. Yeah, so let's see if there's anything else. No. Okay, so that's what I have to share so
Thank you.
far for today. So
Thank you.
Mabel, yeah, any quick
Thank
thoughts?
you. That was a nice gift to me. Thank you.
Sure thing, sure thing.
Thank
Okay,
you.
wonderful. And if people want to check me out, you can go to yoursacredpurpose.com. As always, yoursacredpurpose.com. It's time to, meditate and make money. Allow yourself to be dropped in and get the
I'm a hard worker, so that lazy boy thing, it sounds wonderful.
Yeah, you got, I'm on that thing. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, there's an opportunity to contact me there for energy scanning or to get energy scanning as well, yoursacredpurpose.com. And then we want to round things off, Mabel, by you going ahead and sharing any last amazing bits of wisdom or anything else you want to share with our audience.
Yes, I would like to share that the best advice I got that I would like to leave people with is that when I realized I was going to change careers, I was going to teach officially, I went to my teacher, my Ho'oponopono teacher, and I said, well, I'm going to take some classes because I don't know anything about public speaking, you know? And he said, no, that will take all your naturality. All you have to be is yourself. And that all I have to be is myself. It was such a relief, and it keeps being a relief in my life, allowing myself to be myself. So for me, the most important is to leave you with be yourself, trust yourself, believe in yourself. That's the most important. Just be happy, because when you are happy, you become a magnet, and everything that is right for you, it just comes.
That's right. That's right. Absolutely. Hallelujah. Okay.
Thank you.
Right. Wonderful, everybody. This is amazing stuff. Take advantage of Mabel's all our wonderful gifts. We'll put them in the show notes here as well. Go to zerofrequency.com, zerofrequency.com /book, and Mabel Katz.
Too.
I'm sorry?
And mabelkatz.com also for more free resources.
Yes, absolutely. All right. So grateful to have you, and so grateful for everybody tuning in. Yes, you keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here on Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Till next time. Goodbye for now.
Yes.
You're listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.